Trinidad and Tobago. That's 745.
Muy bien.
I'm trying to show off. I don't know much. Usually opportunities like this is a chance for me to show off a little bit, and I try to take advantage of the opportunity. We are speaking with Ruth Albornoz, the Director of Academic Affairs for Spanish, and Marijo de Fore, who's also one of the tutors who will be involved with the Spanish language camp. Again, basic information for you. It begins next Tuesday,
TV6.
30th of August, targeting children, some 50 children they're keeping for between the ages of 5 to 10, based at Hamilton Street in Woodbrook. The registration continues today, tomorrow, and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Contact information 731-9175, 746-4554. And the cost of the exercise is $460, not US.
TV6.
$460.
Please don't scare them.
Yeah, no, when you told me the figure, because I asked you the figure when we were off here, first thing that jumped in my mind, they were going to say US. But $460, and it's not a matter of saying, but $460 for 10 days of exposure to Spanish. Isn't a bad thing at all?
No, it's not. It's not. Remember, this is an NGO. This is FLADA. FLADA is a Foreign Language Development Association, and her founder, Nikisha Marshall, this is her dream. She wanted Spanish to be really, really implemented in Trinidad and Tobago, and she found a way. We do this stuff every Saturday in Barataria. She has a place where we have groups for children doing this with the communicative approach, and we also take adults and secondary schoolers. And so far it's been good. People like it, like the way we do it. So this is a way to promote this association.
Do you get business people also showing an interest, or because
we have now, yes.
People are now suddenly realizing after 500 years that South America is
Monetization.
a new market by itself. Do you get
and it's right there.
Exactly. Do you get a lot of people showing an interest from a business point of view?
Yes. The thing is, the problem with the adult is that to get them to be committed because of the situation they have, and sometimes they are like, next week I will go and I will catch up. I know how that is. They work, they have to travel, they have, but to learn a language is practice, is being there, and 1 hour, 2 hours for a week. You have to be very committed to it.
Marjorie, you've been teaching Spanish in other countries, Norway, and maybe some other countries. You talked about being in Europe. What special skills do you bring? Is it just about appreciating that people, their first language is not Spanish? How do you get them to open their minds to like Spanish, to love speaking Spanish?
Well, I think the experience with children is, for me, is just fun. As soon as I see them, I relax. I know they will not question me, or they will not come and tell me what you're talking about or what you say that. They just want to learn. They just want to have fun. They just want to sing, Because I never really teach adult people. I find it's kind of boring. So I just like to work with children, and I find the experience, they're too open. It's like a big door, open for me to just pass all the knowledge. And they learn so much vocabulary, and it's so simple. It's not a formula, it's not a way to teach them. It's just, let's go to have fun, and they open, and after 2-3 weeks you send them how to repeat and say, Buenos días, tía. That is so nice, that is really...
And one of the things that have to be very clear, that although they're children, they will say, of course that's going to be simple because it's children. No, it's not as easy as it sounds, because working with children from 8 o'clock in the morning till 3 p.m. and keep them very, very busy and interested about what we are doing. It's a lot. So people think that just teaching a language, that's easy. They're going to be singing and doing games. Imagine how exhausting that is. That would be easier if we use the old method translation. Blue, azul, rojo, red, comida, food. That would be easier. Difficult is for them to try to understand what we are doing in Spanish by trying to use, as she said, body language and using flashcards and doing a lot of recreation and stuff, right? But that pays off at the end of the day.
Is 10 days enough? Because,
actually, it's 8, because in every week we have one holiday.
Okay.
So it's 8. I know it's not enough, but that's what I was telling you. This is like kind of promoting Foreign Language Development Association. After that, you have to continue with it.
And is that a concern? Because, parents they're all excited. It's school holidays. They dump the children off like a daycare center.
Careful with that.
Yeah, right. For you want to take care of the children. And then after that, there's no follow-up. So they might lose all of that exposure that they've had.
And that is the idea we have, because we already have Plata and we already are doing it on Saturdays in Barataria. That's what we want people to understand. You have to continue. If you don't practice a language, you lose it. And children, the same way they learn it so fast, they will forget it. So the idea is for them to continue with it, even if it is not with us, because if we have many people who teach us Spanish, we are really, really, really grateful about it. It's not just, oh, we came the solution to everything. No, it's for everybody to start thinking that Spanish is necessary, because we are very close to Spanish-speaking countries, and we need to communicate. So.
And we need to get off this arrogance that because we speak English we are somehow superior. That's another story. Now people are asking while we're having this discussion, will you be repeating this camp in other parts of the country like South Trinidad, Central Trinidad? What is the intention?
That is the intention. That is the intention. So we're gonna try to, because people have said, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it in the East? I said because we have to target first for the Spain. Why? This is the main thing. I mean, this is the capital. That's what we have to do. It's like if we are in Venezuela, we start for Caracas,
yes.
And then we're gonna go south and then east, and that is the way we're gonna do it. It's not that we are not gonna be arrogant and say no, just for the Spain because it's for the Spain. No, we will do it, but you have to give us like example. I started in Tobago. I mean, why didn't I started in Trinidad? So it was not a matter of better this one or the other one. We just did it that way.
How hard was it? Because you're from Margarita.
Mm-hmm.
How hard was it for you to learn English?
I'm an English teacher in Venezuela, so I studied 5 years, but after 5 years I came here 10, so that would be like 15, and still you can hear me. I made mistakes.
Yeah.
But
no, but you speak English better than I speak Spanish. What I'm trying to say is that okay, you're a teacher and so on, but you have been willing to learn a different language. Most of us, even those who claim to know Spanish, can't really speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Marjorie, would you say that you prefer to deal with children because they are more open? You don't want to deal with adults because we're too hard-headed. But isn't it about people just opening their minds and saying, let me just absorb this entire culture and language and I'll be able to take everything?
Yeah, I think, but it's kind of difficult for adults.
So you write off the adults.
I love you so much. It's hard. We understand it's hard. And she has been working with my groups too, and she's like, oh my gosh, you have to explain everything to them because our mental schemas when we are grown ups is a very different thing when we are children, right?
Because adults say why.
Yes, why?
Yeah.
¿Y por qué?
Yeah.
¿Pero por qué? And this grammatic expression, but why? ¿Pero por qué? Gosh, and you have to have an explanation for everything.
Cállate la boca. But again, it's been a privilege. I think it's generated a lot of interest. Whether people will actually do anything about it is another matter. Ruth Albornoz and Marjorie Forey. Again, the contact number 731-9175, 746-4554. It's $460 for 8 actual days of exposure to Spanish, and we'll find out Colombia, Chile, Panama, Venezuela. I wonder who will get all the favoritism. I suspect to be Venezuela. the Vino Tinto.
Muy bien, the Vino Tinto.
Trying to follow what's going on, but good job, Ria, and so we could be part of the exercise. It's not very Venezuelan. We have the news, and then we'll be back to wrap up the program.